needs to be involved because at that point, what I was trying to do at first was get the benefits transferred out of her name to in my name. And they was telling me, well, since she's over you, she needs to be involved. And they were supposed to have given me a call back, but they never called me back. Like I never heard from them again. They said, okay, we will work something out and we're gonna call you back. And that's the last time I heard from them. So I tried to go through MetroCare. I told them the situation. I told them what was going on. I told them what I was trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get a notice because that's what I was told by Social Security. You need to have a notice from your doctor who did your evaluation that you are eligible to manage your own finances. So around the time when I had gotten on benefits at first, we went to MetroCare. So I decided to try to go back to MetroCare. And immediately all the bullshit, like, oh, well, you gotta talk to this doctor for 6 months before he can write this report, is what the staff told me at the front desk. So I'm like, okay, well, can y'all set me up for an appointment with this doctor? And they were playing like they would set me up to an appointment. But when I got back to talk to this fucking doctor, she told me that no, I don't do that. I just, like, evaluate you for medication. And see, and that's the fucking trick they try to play. They try to act like they really helping you, but they really just trying to use you to get you in there so they can start trying to put you on all these different types of fucking pills and shit. So I got back there and she just started asking me like, oh, well, are you feeling depressed? Are you hearing things that aren't there? Are you, experiencing suicidal tendencies? And like, really, I was depressed because of the situation, but I decided to say no, because I knew if I had said yes, they would have been trying to prescribe me some shit. And like, that fucking conversation didn't last no more than probably 5 minutes at best. And then that was it. And then I found out when I got up out of there that they was trying to charge me for that shit. They was asking me if I have insurance. And I'm like, well, why? Oh, well, because you get charged for those appointments. So what? I'm like, what the fuck? So they tried to make me stay to put me on their insurance so I wouldn't get charged. Like, I think it was some other shit going on with that, but long story short, I wound up not doing it and I just left anyway. And so I was kind of back to square one. I tried to go again and they told me the same bullshit, like, oh, well, you gotta talk to this doctor for 6 months before he can write this report. So I'm like, okay, so are y'all gonna set me up an appointment for this doctor? And I had to keep asking that until one of them finally said, that they don't do that there. Like, what I'm trying to look for them to do, like write this report for me to take back to Social Security, they don't do that there. Like, she told me I had to go to this other MetroCare. And I'm like, really, y'all? So it's like, that's the story with that. And so I decided that, you know what? Is this really what I'm going to keep doing? Like, trying to fucking do this Social Security shit? Like, because this is clearly not fucking working out. Every avenue I keep going through, it keeps turning out to be some bullshit. So I decided to try to go back to work again. So I called workforce, and I was really trying to be like, low key about everything, because I really didn't want to tell them any of my personal business about what was going on at the home, or my court case, or all of that shit, because they ask a lot of questions. They want to know everything. They want to know what you got a felony for, what's going on in the household. And I wasn't trying to get into all that, but they kept asking, so I kind of had to get into it. And so, long story short, that, I guess, is what started the process of me trying to get in the workforce and go back to work. And that's still ongoing now. But, I'm also starting to see some bullshit here, where they're playing kind of the same game as MetroCare, where they make it seem like they trying to help you, but they really just using you for something. They told me that, well, we can write the report here, we can get you to see this doctor, and we can have all of that done here. We can help you out with that, is what they told me. And so I was going to try to start out going part-time and just kind of stay on benefits and just manage that along with a part-time job to see how, this goes, and if whether I want to go full-time in the future or not. But that was gee whiz, I think 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm still not at the point where I'm on a fucking job. I keep getting called to these interviews, not job interviews, but it's these little counseling sessions that you have with your workforce commission counselor, where they keep you there for 2 hours, have you relaying a bunch of details about what's going on in your life. They, I guess, play like they giving you some kind of advice and shit. Then they have you sign some paperwork, and they tell you that, oh, well, it's to get you set up to go to work, but we need to do this, and that first. We need to do your background check. We need to hire you a counselor to discuss how you can go to work and manage your own benefits. And it was around that time where I had seen this doctor that they sent me to, and he was supposed to fucking write that report that I needed to take back to Social Security. That was back in January. That was January of this year. And so one of the things I noticed is after I fucking talk to these people, I get a 2-month, damn near 2-month no call, no update, just straight radio silence from these people. And each and every fucking time, I had to keep calling these people back and asking them hey, what's going on? We haven't talked in a while, hey, and they tell me some bullshit well, oh, we were just about to call you. But here is the thing. I would do what they asked me to do. I would get the paperwork they told me they needed to have for all this stuff they was trying to do to me. And then right at the point where things would just go silent for 2 months, I would call them and I would ask them hey, what's going on? Has the doctor written a report yet? And they tell me, well, we don't know. I gotta talk to him. This and that. And they would actually forget about the process that we were supposed to be on. I would send paperwork to them, and they would forget that I had sent the paperwork, so they wasn't on top of their own shit. And I talked to this doctor January of this year. It is now March, April, May of the same year, and he still hasn't written this fucking report. And I'm still not working. I think the actual process of workforce commission, I started November of, I'm sorry, not November, I think June or July of last year. It is now May of this year, and I'm still not at fucking work. I'm still not at the process where I'm on a job making actual fucking money. So it's like, what the fuck is really going on? Y'all have me going to all these goddamn occasions that y'all want to set me up with to talk to me. You know, y'all tell me to go do all this shit, sign all this paperwork, turn in all this other stuff, all this other paperwork, and then I get 2 months fucking radio silence from your bitch ass. So it's like, what the fuck is y'all doing? And I'm really beginning to question that too, because I'm beginning to feel like it's an ulterior motive to that, you know. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, people in this fucking life just want to fucking use you and shit. And if you are fortunate to be born in a family that gives a shit about you, that gives a shit about your future, you're gonna be left to figure stuff out for y'all, and not more than likely, you're gonna run into all the bumps in the road because you ain't gonna know who to fucking talk to, you ain't gonna know who to fucking trust, and you're gonna run into a bunch of people out here who's just gonna fucking take advantage of you. They will smile in your face and make it seem like they really care about you, but really there is an ulterior motive going on that you're not gonna see until you really, well, until they expose their hand. But by that time, it's too late. So, man, all of this shit that I've been through with my mom, with this fucking Metro Care bullshit, with fucking workforce commission, I don't trust people now. I do not trust any fucking one. I am suspicious of everyone. And my mom in general, she tries to play this bullshit where after she's acted as rancid as she could, like she'll try to play this bullshit like, oh, well, I love you, son. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. Like, you done tried to damn near almost kill me with a fucking car. Hey, God bless. I really don't believe in fucking God, but that's another video for another time. But anyway, you done tried to fucking kill me with a car and almost succeeded. You done pulled knives out on me. You done told other people how you was gonna kill me. You even told me to my face how you was gonna have me civilly committed and then tried to follow through with it when I wasn't even doing any damn thing. And you wanna talk about, oh, well, son, I want you to know I love you. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, man. God damn, man. Shut your fake bitch ass up. You lying, cunt, whore piece of shit. Cause people fucking lie to you. They fucking use you, they abuse you. And then they smile in your face, or they gaslight you and try to make you feel like, oh, that's not the case of what's really going on. They try to make you feel stupid and shit. And that's what I'm talking about. People will try to fucking use you. And again, with that goddamn doctor who was supposed to write my report for workforce commission, he even put in his fucking evaluation reports that, oh, well, he comes off as very suspicious of people. He is very untrusting of people. That borders on the point of delusion. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking untrusting of people. And I think it's real funny that also the same people who is trying to recommend me onto this fucking medication shit, and like, oh well, all you need is therapy, is that they're trying to tell me that I'm delusional for being as suspicious of people as I am. That's real fucking ironic. You know? And that's what I was talking about with that gaslighting shit. People will gaslight you to make you feel like, oh, you're just overreacting. Like, man, I know I'm not fucking overreacting. I know the shit that I've been through. I know what I've heard. I know what I saw. Who the fuck are you to tell me that I'm being delusional? And then they try to say, like, oh, well, maybe you just need some medication. And see, and again, that's all this shit leads back to, is people trying to put you on fucking medication like it's something wrong with you. And when I was going to Metro Care, I would tell these fucking people, look, I am going through shit in my life. Like, I would actually describe to them the shit that I'm going through, about my mom trying to kill me, about how she's threatening me, how she was messing with me down there every day. And they fucking look at me and tell me, well, okay, well, don't you think you need medication for that? What in the fuck is medication gonna fucking do for the goddamn situation that I'm going through? Especially when the fucking stuff I'm going through isn't fucking, mental in nature. And that's what they all try to do. They just try to put you on fucking medication and just try to use you for a goddamn paycheck. That's all these places really fucking care about. Everyone out here is just trying to use you. If you are unfortunate enough to be acquainted with the right group of people, these are the type of fucks you're gonna run into. People who's just gonna act like they helping you, and then they just trying to use you for their own goddamn purposes, man. Man, people are fucking cunts, man. That's the conclusion that I've come to. You know? And I have my brother, older bro, telling me, oh, well, you gotta think positive, you can't be nihilistic. Like, man, what the fuck are you talking about, yo? What the hell? Like, get the fuck out of my face with all of that bullshit, just think positive. And you know, I tried that for a little while. I tried that, especially like around the time when my mama was on her bullshit. I tried to do that. I tried to be like, well, okay, stuff isn't as bad as it could be. It could be worse. Like, hey, at least I'm able to do this, and that. Like, really just some bullshit, you know, just, I don't know, because I guess I'm kind of an artist. I'm an aspiring artist, so I try to use mental copes, like saying, well, at least I get to stay in my room working on my art, or some shit like that. Like, I would literally try to delude myself about the actual situation to try to convince myself that it wasn't as bad as it really was, until it started getting even worse, and that didn't work anymore, and I was made to confront the actual reality of things. And so really that wound up doing more harm than good. Because when you try to delude yourself, a part of you, I feel, becomes complacent. Like, you try to actually convince yourself that this is as good as it's probably gonna get. And so you ignore all the fucking abuse and you ignore the problems. And all that did was get me into more trouble because I was, for a time, I wasn't doing anything to try to get out of it. But it's like, even when I did try to start doing shit, it still ain't enough. And just like I told y'all, I tried to go to fucking Metro Care. I tried to go to Workforce Commission. I'm still trying to go to Workforce Commission. Get a job and shit through them. I'm trying to go to these little fucking, this, gee whiz, brain fart. I tried to go through this communication that the police officers set me up with, and none of them lead anywhere. And so Workforce Commission is the current thing I'm trying to do. That seems like it's just leading down more of a slew of bullshit. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do after this, but this is what I was talking about. When these antinatalists say that it depends on what family you were born in, how you were raised, that determines the opportunity and connections that you get to have. I am really beginning to feel inclined to believe that. Because I'm out here trying, y'all. I am fucking trying. And it still doesn't seem like it's enough. I keep running into these bitchy ass people who all have ulterior motives and shit. And it's always something that's either centered around people trying to just put me in counseling or put me on medication. And so I really don't know what else to do, but I guess you have it. This is my first antinatalist video. I really don't believe that this world is anything pleasant to live in. And if I'm to be real honest, I wish that I was never fucking born. I wish that I was never fucking born, because ever since my childhood, from going to school to being raised by my mom and all the bullshit going on with my dad, it has all been bullshit, I guess. And I'm saying this very loosely here, that there were times that were quote unquote good, but it was mainly related to the times where we weren't getting fucking yelled at by my mom over some bullshit going on in the house that she that she would again accuse us of or try to blame us of. Or it was either me going a day without getting bullied in school. I got bullied a lot in fucking school. It was bad, man. And that's another thing I'm going to get into on another video. But factoring in all the experiences I've had with life up till now, I think I concur, with everyone else, with every other antinatalist. This world is fucking shit. This society is fucked up, You have a society where you don't even know who you can fucking trust. You don't know if someone trying to fucking use you, if they trying to take advantage of you, and it's always the same damn way. You won't see it until they play their card, and by then it's too late. And so I wish that I was never fucking brought here. And what really pisses me off is that is with my mom. It's like, okay, if this was how you was gonna treat me, why the fuck did you even bring me here? Why the fuck did you even decide to have kids in the first goddamn place, bitch? If this was all the shit you was gonna do, you was gonna not raise us right. You was gonna teach us virtually nothing. And then when we got older and didn't know anything, see, I will say my oldest bro and sister, they were the smart ones. So, like my sister, she had like our granny, our late grandma, who helped her out. And my brother, he went to the fucking Navy and shit. But me, I ain't had no one. All I had was fucking her. And she ain't did shit. She ain't taught me shit. And this ain't to sit here and try to blame her for everything, because I did get out and I did try to fucking do some shit on my own, like I said earlier in this video. But it always seemed to not be fucking enough, man. And so now that I'm 31 years old and I still barely don't know how to do shit, now she wants to treat me like I'm this fucking menace, like I'm just this worst, terrible person that she has ever known. I mean, yeah, I got into a little bit of trouble with the law, you know, and I may or may not talk about it, but in the grand scheme of things, that didn't even affect anything in the household. Like, you know, the laws, the police, like they were fucking lenient. I'm telling you, they was lenient. So we didn't have cops coming all through the house doing these like searches or I didn't even have a fucking probation officer come into the house, yo. That's how lenient they were. Like, the probation itself was real bullshit, but the actual, like, you know, on-duty shit that they supposed to do, especially out in my area where they come to your house and they talk to you, they ain't even did that shit. Man, I'm talking from fucking 2019 till 2022. We didn't even have a fucking cop show up at the house. The only time we had police showing up to the house when it was for all that dramatic bullshit that I was talking to you about, that I was going through with my mom. That's the only time they came to the house. So technically, we shouldn't have even had cops coming to the house at all. But she kind of uses that whole situation, like with my case and all of that, as kind of leverage or an excuse to, well, this is why I'm like this, or, well, this is why stuff is the way, basically to blame me for her own goddamn problems and shortcomings. And so I'm doing the best I can, but if I'm to be really honest, I really don't want to fucking do this shit anymore. Like, you know, I talked to my brother yesterday and he's talking about, oh, well, you need to go to trades. Like, I really don't even fucking want to do that shit, because I feel like I'm already trying to do all I can just to turn up at a fucking wall every single goddamn time. And that's another thing too. Like, with this whole workforce thing, I had recently calculated how much I was going to make if I had went full time, and if whether that would be enough to move out of the house, like, you know, just to move into a studio apartment somewhere in my area. And man, I did those fucking calculations, and It's not fucking possible, man. Like, the cost of living out here is so goddamn expensive, yo. It's not even fucking possible to even work full time on a regular job and afford to live on your own. So that's kind of like, you know, another way that I'm screwed. It's too fucking expensive out here. So like my bro's talking about, oh, well, you need to go to trade school. I'm like, man, I'm fucking tired of doing all of this shit. I'm sorry, man. Actually, I'm not sorry, but like, cause you know, I have been putting my best foot forward, but it's like, damn, man, I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of trying to figure shit out, trying to figure out what to do in my life, how to get out of the shitty situation. I mean, I'm tired of fucking reaching out to people, like reaching out to programs, talking to people, just for them to try to use me for some bullshit, to try to put me on medication or some shit, because that's all it fucking turns into. Every single goddamn time, like even with the workforce commission, I fucking talk to this counselor, she talking about some, oh, well, have you tried medication? Why the fuck is everyone trying to put people on medication as if medication is gonna solve the goddamn problem, yo? That shit doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. And that's another thing that I've noticed, man. Medication seems to be the end-all be-all to any problem that you have. If you're going through shit in your house, medication. If you're depressed because someone's messing with you and they're threatening to fucking kill you, medication. Well, have you tried medication? What the fuck is going on with this medication shit? That's another thing I want to ask. Why the fuck are these goddamn doctors trying to put everyone on medication when the problem doesn't even call for it? When it's not even a mental problem in and of itself? When it's not even a mental abnormality in and of itself? This goes back to what I was saying, like, these fucking people don't care about you, they just trying to use your ass. But I think I've gone on long enough. So here you have it, my first antinatalist video. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.